Israel and Iran launch more attacks overnight as the ongoing war escalates in the Middle East.
And President Trump now back on U.S. soil after leaving the G7 summit in Canada early because of all of this. This is a video of the president getting off of Air Force One about an hour ago after a touchdown at Joint Base Andrews. Amy Kawada is following the latest updates at the Alert Desk. Good morning, Amy.
Hey, Sina and Tim, good morning. President Trump posted this on social media yesterday saying Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and is urging Iranians to evacuate Tehran. In a social media post as well, Trump said his early exit from the G7 summit does not have to do with ceasefire negotiations, also adding that it's, quote, much bigger than that. U.S. officials tell CBS News that American forces are not joining Israel's offensive, though the Pentagon has deployed more assets to the region, including another carrier strike group. According to Iranian state media, at least 224 people have been killed since Israel began bombing Iran on Friday, while Iranian retaliatory strikes have killed at least 24 people in Israel. In the latest dramatic escalation of a major aerial campaign launched Friday, Iranian state TV was on the air denouncing Israel airstrikes yesterday as an airstrike hit the building. President Trump told reporters he warned Iran repeatedly to strike a deal to limit its nuclear program.
I gave Iran 60 days, and they said no. And the 61st, you saw what happened. Day 61. So I'm in constant touch. And as I've been saying, I think a deal will be signed, or something will happen, but a deal will be signed. And I think Iran is foolish not to sign one.
Now, meanwhile, the U.S. State Department is warning Americans not to travel to Israel. The embassy in Jerusalem says it is not in a position to assist with evacuations. Back to you.
Thank you, Amy. We've also learned that people from a congregation in Pikesville are now stuck in Israel in the midst of this conflict.
Alexa Villa joins us now on your corner to tell us what the congregation of Beth Tefillah congregation is telling us now as they're experiencing sheltering in place during this conflict. Alexis, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, WJZ spoke to a senior rabbi from that congregation, and he says that right now they're staying in a hotel in Jerusalem. That's where they will be staying for the rest of their time until they come back. But the whole issue right now is that they say when they hear those sirens, they go down into a basement to take shelter, but they don't know exactly when they'll be able to finally make it back to here in the United States, especially back to Pikesville. What we know so far, according to this rabbi, is that 50 members and their families from the Beth Tefillah congregation arrived in Israel Thursday. They were there to tour the country. Some members of the group are children, which are on their first trip right now to Israel. But hours into their trip, it took a drastic turn as missiles continue in the Israel and Iran conflict. Rabbi Kai Posner says the government instructed them to not gather, and most businesses right now are closed. He says when a siren goes off, they head down to a basement, and that's where they wait out and they hear the missiles above. Posner says sometimes they are waiting there up to an hour and think about the history they are living through in real time.
People have said to me throughout, look, I mean, we wouldn't have chosen this, but you know what? This is an experience much deeper than any experience we imagined we could have had on this trip.
Now, this group was planning to take a flight on Sunday night to come back here, but the Tel Aviv airport, Ben Gurion, is actually shut down and there are no flights going in or out. So right now they are in limbo. They do not know when they will be able to make a return. I'm Alexis Davila on your corner for WJZ.